I am a big fan of the show. I'm so happy it's coming back. I would imagine this was a very exciting role to get, and yet you had some family members who were not that excited when you were first
My
cast.
granddad wasn't very happy, yeah. He's like, bloody hell, you're not playing that bloody Burke, are you? He's from Nottingham, which that probably doesn't make much sort of sense to, but it's in the north of England, or the middle of England.
And he called him a Burke?
A Burke.
Okay, gotcha. Meaning?
Meaning an idiot.
Okay, gotcha.
Because my granddad thinks that Prince Philip is an idiot, but he's not. He's a very astute, clever, charming, intelligent man, I like to think. But so is my granddad, he's, you know.
And you actually met Prince William.
I met William and Harry, yes.
And had the show been on yet?
No.
Okay, gotcha.
I was presented to William at the Polo.
Oh, that's the most British thing that anyone's ever said
Yes,
on the show.
I know. Well, I was presented to William.
That was like a hat trick. Presented Prince William the Polo.
Yeah. Well, and I'm not really very posh either. I mean, I talk posh when I'm nervous.
No,
so I'm
look,
nervous
your grandfather says Burke. We know where you're from.
Yeah, exactly. And the lady next to me said, "Oh yeah, he's playing." And I thought, "Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it." He's playing. Oh, don't do it. He's playing Prince Philip. And I went, "Oh Christ, she's done it." And all he did was he went, "Legend."
That's great.
I went, "What?" And he went, "He's a legend." And I went, "Yeah, he is a legend."
Oh, that's great. It's very nice to hear that from Prince William.
Yeah.
Now, this is an interesting time of the show. It's going to keep going, but you will, both you and Claire are going to be recast.
We've been moved on.
Yeah, because they're going to get older actors to play them older.
Yes.
Are you? It has not been cast yet, right? Is that correct?
Well,
Okay,
I
so
don't know.
you maybe know.
I maybe know. I mean, I don't know if I know. I'm not meant to know, but I maybe know.
Okay,
Yeah.
now, is part of you, though, oh, that's who they think I'm going to look like in 10 years?
If it's the person that it could be, I was just totally flattered. I
Oh,
thought,
great.
How marvelous.
Oh, that's exciting. Because this has happened once before. We were talking backstage. One of my favorite movies is In Bruges.
Yes.
You played, there was a flashback scene where you played a young Ray Fiennes.
Yes.
Which is I mean, that is, you can't ask for more than that.
And it's Martin McDonagh, and it's such a great film. And Rafe is one of my favourite actors. I just think he's electric.
So is this on the level of, is this Rafe good, or is this maybe a little lower? Like, where are you at here?
No, well, you know, look, I don't want to kind of speculate too much, but yeah, no, he's brilliant. He's
Okay,
brilliant.
good. All right, well,
if it's the person that I think it might be, and he's incredibly handsome as well, which, you know.
All right, good. Well, fingers
marvellous.
crossed for you.
Fingers
I really
crossed,
hope.
I know. I've morphed into someone far better looking than I.
I want to ask about this because obviously when you take on something like playing a member of the royal family, there's going to be intense sort of fan attention to it. But you maybe did something that has even more fan attention when you played the 11th Doctor.
Yes.
On Doctor Who.
When I played Harry in Bruges. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So when you got that role to play the Doctor, did you understand that world you were stepping into?
Not really. Nothing can really prepare you for the sort of enormity of that part. And funnily enough, one of the papers sort of found out. And then at the time, I had a Brazilian girlfriend. And one of the British newspapers went up to my granddad's house again. I'm just bringing my poor granddad into it again. And they knocked on his door. And they said, oh, you know, and they actually offered him a huge amount of money and said, who's his girlfriend? And he said, I don't bloody know, Carmen Miranda, who's a famous Brazilian singer. And slammed the door in her face. And I went, yes, Grant, good lad.
And, but the fans, were they great? Like, once you enter that world?
Yes, I mean, at first they hated me. Because, you know, kind of David was so popular and they were like, don't break Doctor Who, and everyone hated me, and I thought, oh, God, I'm just going to die. And it was an awful thing. But then eventually, I hope that they've now accepted me. But, you know, the great thing about that show is that they love or they hate their doctor. So everyone has their doctor. And to some people, I will be their doctor. And to some people, David Tennant will be theirs, and et cetera, et cetera. So.
Well, that's a nice way of looking at it. Again, we've heard a lot about your grandfather, which I'm very happy about.
Yeah, top boy. He's a top boy.
And seems like a salty guy. You seem, again, very kind, very well put together. Certainly we see you on that show. Yeah, very polite. But then...
Thank you very much. Flattery will get you everywhere.
True story that you were... fight? Did you get in fights in school?
Oh, yes, I have had a fight at school.
Just one, though?
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, but one that was significant, I suppose.
Memorable?
Yeah, you know, ish.
Did you start it? What happened?
No, I didn't start it, actually. It was in history. And that was the one subject that I was in the top set for. I'm more intelligent than I look, but and you know, we were debating a point, and there was one very clever chap in school who was demeaning me, frankly, and my point of view. So then, I proceeded. Anyway, I mean, I leapt over the desk and told him I'd shove his trumpet up his arse. Because he was the school trumpeter.
Yeah.
And he was a smug pillock.
That escalated so quickly.
And then there was fisticuffs, and then I got suspended, and I went home, and I told my dad, and he laughed.
Okay.
And I thought I had him on side, and then I was very nonchalant about it, and then my dad was like, "Oi, rein it in, sort it out, you don't get suspended."
Well, I think if anything, he should have given that speech to his father, because obviously that's where it all started.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, hey, man, thanks so much for being here.